You've reached the moist mailbox of Jay Bellums. If I don't come to the phone, leave a message after the Hello, one and all. How's everybody doing out there? Woo! This is Jay Bellums coming to you live for another episode of Driving with Jay. Now, I'm running so late, everybody. I'm just Lady McLate Pants. Because I just couldn't find anything this morning, y'all. I was misplacing. You know what? I'd misplace my head if it wasn't attached to my shoulders. Oh, I need some water. Hold up. Just hold up. Stop yelling at me. Now that's how you make a water. People just don't make waters like they used to anymore, okay? Can I get a thumbs up in the comments? You know what? I might have to call old boss lady and tell her that I'm running a little bit late. Okay, let's see how that goes. Just call her and give her the common courtesy that I might be 5 minutes late. Let's see here. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. You're on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, say hello to the listeners.
Hello, listeners.
Oh, now I'm just calling to let you know that I might be 5 minutes late. I'm running a little behind schedule.
Okay. Why? What are you doing?
I just lost all my shit before I left the house. I just misplaced everything at once, but I probably won't even be late, but I'm just letting you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'll see you later.
See you later.
Okay, bye. Oh, and don't you just love her? Now, I'm not just saying this because she watches the show, but this boss lady is one of the most understandable people I've ever met in my life. I'm gonna tear up if I start talking about it. She's just great. She deserves all the best in the world and more. So shout out to you, boss lady. But now I'm not stressed out. I was gonna drive like Mach speed. I was gonna drive like Mach 7. And probably take out a few kangaroos that are trying to cross the road. I'd probably run them over. Turn them into just roos, if you know what I mean. Take the kanga completely out. But anyway, so, running late, as you can tell. Drinking water, as you can tell. Extremely muscular, as you can tell. But enough about me. How are all you doing? How are all my listeners doing? My listeners and glisteners. Y'all just look like y'all's glistening in that sunlight. Y'all look good. As the kids would say, you look like a snack and I'm going to eat you. Isn't that right? Well, topics for today. We got chicken noodle soup. Hey, I wasn't even thinking about it, but since I said it, does anyone remember the book series Chicken Noodle Soup for the Teenage Soul? Anybody? I won't stay on it too long because, in case you didn't know, this is horribly unrelatable, but they used to make books. These things called books back in the early 2000s and 90s, alright? Because not everybody had a smartphone or a tablet, what have you, and you'd actually read a book. And, the angsty teenagers, that was a huge market, a huge money-making, a huge cash cow, if you will. Because the parents of the teenagers would be like, Jay, I don't know what to do about my child. He's acting up, and I've put him on all the medications I possibly can think of, and he's still acting up. What do I do? And I would direct them towards the young adult, the parenting section in the library. Y'all remember libraries? Shout out to libraries. But that was a huge thing, the counseling section, you know? And Jay's mother is a therapist, and so you put 2 and 2 together, girl. Our bookshelves at home are scary. They look like the back room of Dr. Phil. I mean, we got everything from, let me try to think of the names of the book titles. We got one that's called Yes, Your Teen is Crazy. We got one that's called Failure to Launch. It's about, you know, your kid not doing what he needs to do, just winding up being a piece of shit 30-year-old making fake radio shows while he drives to his dead-end job. What else was there? Just a lot of book titles that made you real anxious when you walk past the bookcase, because you assume that every book is about you. It's like, my piece of shit redhead son just won't act right. And you're like, Mom, is this about me? And she's like, oh, no. I have a client who has a redhead son. No, that's not about you. I'm like, are you sure? You look at the next book and it's like titled, Jay Bellums, this is about you. You need to straighten up and fly right. I'm like, Mom! She's like, yes, that one is about you. You know, your full name gave it away on the cover. But anyway, man, you know, I think it's overall a positive, because communication is key between the child and the parent. I'd rather have too much communication than too little, you know. Even though my mom would come bursting into my room at midnight when I had you know what? Actually, she did do this. Story time. So one time Jay was chilling with his Jayette. You know, that's a girlfriend for y'all. Same girlfriend who I mentioned earlier in the horror movie stories. If you don't watch my show, you don't know who I'm talking about. So fuck you, and maybe you should start watching my show. But to all of those who do know, it's the girl that I was forced to buy candy for at the movie theater. So she and I, without going into too much detail, you know, we were getting our snuggle on, if you know what I mean. We were comparing Snuggies. We were like, oh, yours has nice sleeves. And she's like, oh, yours has a fun pocket. And wouldn't you know it, but I hear a knock, knock, knock on my door. Jay! I'm like, shit! Hide your Snuggie. Yes, mother? She's like, I'm coming in. And my mother walks into the room, okay? Sits down on the bed, sits down with us, and we're like under the covers, you know, we've just got our little faces peeking out. We're like, what do you want? Get out of here. This is my private room. I'm 16. And she proceeds to give us the birds and the bees talk. Oh, do you know how embarrassing that shit was, girl? We're just sitting there trying to enjoy each other's Snuggies. And my mom's sitting here like, yes, when a man loves a woman, he impregnates her. And it's like, gosh, golly. And you know what I did? I pulled a real dick move. Since I knew it was my mom and I could get away with it, I just took the covers and I went underneath them and I disappeared completely. And I left my girlfriend. I left my girlfriend up on the shore. I left her at high tide. And she had to be the only one out from under the covers listening to my mom. So she had to endure that shit alone. Maybe that's why it didn't work out after that. But that was really awkward. You know, you want to talk about communication and having good communication with your kids. Hold on, I mean, like, you know, there's a time and a place, okay? And I'm sure she was just trying to put a stop to any shenanigans that would have made, you know, another mini Bellums come into the world. But I wasn't stupid. I wasn't about to be a guest on, you know, 16 and pregnant. Damn, that was one of the most embarrassing moments for my girlfriend of all time. I was fine because I was under the covers. But yeah, that's what growing up with a therapist will do for you. Another thing she did. This is a juicy episode. If I lose this episode, I'm
literally going to hire a hitman on myself and have myself executed. Another thing she did, so I'm a big fan of rap music, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have been able to tell by my choice in music. Let me see here. Oh no, this is me playing guitar. This ain't no rap beat. Yeah, let me force you to listen to this. I'm like a 40-year-old man reliving my glory. Check it out. Yo, I was 16 when I was recording this. This was right at the time that I was getting the birds and the bees talk. I needed it, because listen to how cool I was. Hit it! Go for a solo! Fuck! What was I saying? I seriously don't know what I was saying anymore. Help me out, brain. Therapist. What were we doing? She's a therapist. It was so good. I'll get it. It's okay. Talked about the birds and the bees, and then we were on to more therapy. Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Okay, damn. Took me a long time to get that one. Rap music. I am a big fan of rap music, and if you don't believe me, just ask the streets, okay? Because I know my shit. You know, you might look at me and say, oh, look at him. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And then I'll be like, yo, actually, that song came out in 2002. It's produced by Scott Storch featuring 50 Cent. And I bet you didn't know that 50 was actually undergoing, you know, colorectal surgery while he recorded. You know, I know everything about rap music, so come at me. But anyway, with my love of rap music, you know, I started to behave a little bit differently. Mainly just because I was a teenager, and those teenage hormones are something you gotta stay away from and you gotta watch out for. But you know, I was getting into a little bit of trouble, smoking some marijuana, you know, wearing G-Unit sneakers. I honestly tried to get my hand on a pair of G-Unit sneakers. I was that kid. But what my mom did is she got concerned. Okay. I wasn't allowed to listen to the explicit versions of rap songs, so I would just have to hear the clean version, and let me tell you just how lame that is. Oh my goodness. So I never knew all the words to my rap songs, so I'd just fill in the blanks, and years later when I heard it, I was completely wrong. I'm like, he doesn't say cheese bagel there. Yeah, what? But one day, she got really concerned because I was in my Eminem phase, and I was like really angry all the time. I was like, Mom! You only got me McDonald's? I hate you! You know how kids start hating their moms when they listen to too much Eminem? Alright? That's just what you have to do. It's mandatory. But what she did, that little sneaky snake, is she snuck onto the World Wide Web. And she printed off the lyrics to a lot of Eminem's songs, okay? And she also printed off the lyrics to Move Bitch by Ludacris. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to start part 2 because I really don't want to lose this episode. So hold on 1 second. We'll continue this in part 2. Stay sexy. Hold on.